We are in Greece, specifically
Mykonos.
where it's very nice, it's very quiet, certainly away from all the tourists and the cruise ships. It's very quiet out here. And we are on a mission.
Yep.
We are going looking for the lost city of Atlantis.
Apparently.
Just bear with us on this one, because both of us actually believe that it was not just a myth, but it was probably real. Based on nothing that we've read, not based on Plato's and his rubbish, not even based on all the truth that's said on Wikipedia. So we are going searching through the Greek islands, looking for the lost city of Atlantis.
Yep.
You really believe it's real?
Yeah, whether it was here though is a different matter. Possibly. But we will see. We have 3 weeks and 2 days to find out.
3 weeks and 2 days to find what people have been searching for according to Plato, what, the last 12,000 years?
And it's not in Mykonos. Mykonos is just one place that we're stopping at. We've just come across all of the cattle market of the cruise line people, so we thought we'd come and find somewhere quiet where nobody was prepared to walk this far. Yep. It's quite pretty though, isn't it? Apart from the fact that this corner is obviously used as a latrine.
Oh, nasty. You know when you should finish your sentence, you know you finish your piece to camera like a sentence early. That's one of those examples, isn't it? Disgusting. Okay, so what do you think of Mykonos so far?
It's pretty. We're glad when the cruise cattle horde have disappeared back onto their boat.
It is a bit of a cattle market, yeah.
And we're probably in the wrong place because we're going around the main drag around the ports. We haven't done any inland stuff yet.
That said, we haven't actually found the inland stuff yet because we've got lost.
We only got here this morning.
Yeah, but I mean, you can't find your way around it. I mean, I like it because you can't find your way around it. I like getting lost. So, now we are settled. This is not the beginning of our journey. We need to tell the start of that before we get to our adventure going on. So the journey here was quite interesting, wasn't it?
Yeah, especially when we found out our flight was delayed and that we had less than 10 minutes to run across Schiphol Airport to make our connecting flight with all our luggage.
It was true. Oh, thank you, sir. We had to run. I don't like running at the best of times, and
I certainly don't.
Running's not our forte. It's 10 minutes and we made the gate just as the gate closed. And they let us on! But we were saved through one miraculous thing. My psychic ability. I knew that we should not check our baggage. Even when KLM said, you can check your baggage for free.
We wouldn't have our baggage now if we checked it. So
True.
that wasn't a bad move. The flights were okay. We managed to get about 2 hours sleep at the airport. We've had a couple of hours sleep this morning, so we're just a little bit tired.
It's true. However, we are lucky to have our luggage. And one of the reasons, I do want to take credit for this. And one of the reasons that we are lucky enough to have all of our stuff with us and to be able to have made it this far is that I booked us cheap flights that had only hand luggage.
Yeah, you did. I concede. Although it was 12 kilos that we were allowed to carry, but because our connecting flights to Mykonos only allowed 8 kilos, it was 8 kilos that I had to lug across the terminal instead of 12.
8 kilos is not a heavy weight to lug.
It is when you're trying to run.
What I'm saying is that I think Alicia's had an epiphany. In that pretty much 8 kilos is enough.
I packed everything that I wanted to in that 8 kilos. So
Hey.
we've spent today mooching around Mykonos, realising that there's lots of people here from cruise lines. We're now heading off to find a supermarket because we're off to Delos tomorrow.
Delos, yes, the ancient ruins of Delos. More on that in a while. The only way is up, baby, to the supermarket. The only way is up.
Slight right towards Apache Akio Dios or Muagiu Yoani Agiu Stefanu.
Who? Is that the name of a road? Ain't no name of a road I ever heard of. Mykonos is expensive. Let's make no bones about it. So, to head this off at the pass, and because we need some non-touristy items, let's describe it as that. We are heading to the supermarket, and then just a supermarket. It's a 12-minute walk. It's 1.3 kilometers. It is. It's just uphill. We are starting our ridiculous journey, investigating the Yep, if there's any kind of indication of old stuff, it doesn't get much older than Delos. And that also managed to disappear, so maybe there's something in common. Did you know that they're actually outlawed either being born or dying on Delos? You're not allowed to die today. You're not allowed to die on Delos. Did you know that? Well, looking at the demographic, I think there's today could be the day.
Possibly.
Stump.
Every agora has a typical plan. There is an open square, like this one, surrounded by columns, but this couldn't take place here. So,
because Delos was a big seafaring port and it had lots of commerce and everything. They had lots of foreign people come here, so they had a temple to the foreign gods, and as a result, they described this one as where they had the orgies. True.
The tour was really good.
It was a really good tour, wasn't it?
Yeah. And although the sun is quite fierce, there's a really nice breeze. And it's been nice so far.
Carefully, don't fall down that. I think that's probably where all the wee went. So the thing is, Zeus stood at the top of the hill and he watched Apollo and Artemis being born in the lake where there is a palm tree. Apparently Artemis was born fully grown and was able to help her mom birth Apollo. So that's why there's lots of things to Apollo here. But there is no evidence of the Minoans being here, despite the fact that there is a Minoan well, or a fountain.
Notice how there aren't any English translations, it's all French. Typical. Don't be rude with
That's wrong.
I should have an English translation. I've never been.
Could you not tell what it was?
I I've never been anywhere. I've never seen the English translated.
Got an idea. Let's be Zeus.
And climb the hill?
Yeah.
Okay. I might have to crawl up the last bit.
Look, it's only tiny. It's only tiny. Come on, it'd be great. True fact, did you know that Apollo was the god of light?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, just as well, that's how you've packed to come here, isn't it? Maybe it's a sign. Oh, you're going to go for it? Excellent. I was wondering then for a second. It is a bit steep, isn't it?
I'll fucking take it, so if you want to go ahead.
Ah, does this remind you of when you walked the Lycian Way?
Yeah.
Oh, no, there's cloud coming over. You didn't get that. Well, it was also 40 degrees.
How far have we gone? Ah, it's not bad.
No, it's pretty good so far. I'm impressed. It's not the view I'm here for, though. I want to go to the top.
I know. I just gotta get my breath. Okay?
She's a maniac, oh yeah. You can do it!
So, Mum, you know you said don't do too much walking. I think we broke that one.
She lied. Oh, and I'm twagging. It's Frosty the Snowman.
Can you rub my suntan lotion into my head, please?
So one of the reasons people might think that Delos is the Atlantis is because of the situation that it is. When people described Atlantis, or when Plato described Atlantis, he described a sort of a series of concentric circles around a central point. The thing is that these islands, the Greek islands, are called the Cyclades because they encircle around the outside Delos in the middle, which was always viewed as a sacred island. So is Atlantis the whole lot? Really big question, don't know the answer. However, the thing to remember is that Delos is still here. Yeah, it doesn't exist as a civilization, but it's still here. There was no cataclysmic event that destroyed it. It dissolved. It just disappeared because the old religions went, and because...
Yeah, it became a place for pirates.
Pirates, yeah.
And people took stones and rocks for building elsewhere.
Yeah, so it fell into gradual decline. It didn't just disappear. So, chances are, this isn't Atlantis. Sorry. Heading inland today to check out Moreira because it's Sunday. Believe it or not, there's actually a little bit of cloud cover. It's teensy cloud cover. So, yep, heading into it and we'll see what we can find, see what the monks have to say.
Yeah.
Bit difficult if you wanted to reserve your seats. The family aren't all going to sit together, are they? No. When you get to the bottom, you go back up to the top of the slide and you stop and you turn and you go for a ride. Lots of pictures of Jesus.
I like the fact they've got dragons and stuff on their chandeliers, I'm sure that fits in with Bible accounts.
Well, it'd be like with the fighting skeletons, though, wouldn't it? I mean, it's
Unless it's the Book of Revelation.
no, it's the Book of Jason. Did when he went looking for the fleece. That got a dragon in it, hadn't it? Always a gorgon. That's what happens if your name's John. So we're at the monastery in Anomera, and quite interesting, nice inside, but beyond the typical biblical Christian representational stuff, there's evidence of more mythical stuff.
Yep.
What did you see?
The Pegasus and the dragon.
Dragons and Pegasus, the intertwine of reality and embedding of mythology. This, I'll be closer. Would love to ask a monk.
Would we?
I
I
haven't.
don't think they can speak.
That's a good point, actually.
Is this a silent order?
This would be very interesting. We wouldn't be able to ask them, but they'd have to do. They could do it through sort of charades.
The dragon could possibly be Revelation. The Pegasus could possibly be the winged chariots.
No, it'd be a chariot, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I don't know.
We can't ask anyone because it's the monastery. They don't talk. Well, at least they can't tell us to get out. I'd really love to grow some bougainvillea at home.
I don't think I've got the time.
It's so pretty. That's a nice tree.
Yeah, it's a mulberry bush.
You want to run round and round the mulberry bush?
No.
It's a bit big for a bush. Then we're in Greece. The bush is big.
Apparently the fruit is poisonous.
Is it?
Yeah.
So I probably shouldn't eat this.
No. And the pollen comes off it at a rapid rate.
How would you know when it's poisonous?
I wouldn't try it.
Let's test it on that bird. There's no fooling that sparrow though, it does not want that mulberry. Probably shouldn't have tasted it. It's nice, it tastes nice, sweet. And way over there.
Yeah.
Thought monks were supposed to tend gardens.
We haven't seen any yet.
I figured it out. I know why there's no monks.
Why?
They were all on a Eurovision bender last night.
Can't explain it.
All sitting here with massive, massive hangovers. Greece didn't do very well. Sorry. Tried.
They do better than England.
26 out of 26. Boom! That's our spot. Anybody else tries to take it from us, we'll have a referendum, I swear. What fresh waves? I want fresh waves in my life. It's my kind of food heaven. It's like marinated anchovies, fried anchovies, meat variety, big. Ooh. Honey balls. I know. I've discovered what the fresh waves were that come with the meatballs. So all the green bits that come off the vines above us. Fresh waves. There's your metaphor. Could it be that it's actually just the fountain of life, and it's actually sort of circles of water that go from the top to the middle to the bottom, and in the background you can see the sea. Could it be just a metaphor? Ah, it's real. It's real. Should have been there. In my mind. Did we just fall over?
Yeah.
Might that have been some of the wine that we've just had for dinner?
Covered in green things.
You are covered in green things. Just think of them as what was it? Fresh waves. There's quite a lot of fresh waves on my dinner, and in my hair by the time I'd finished eating. It says no flashing. Quit flashing. So while we're in Mykonos, we're going to check out things like the Folklore Museum, and we're going to check out the Maritime Museum, because if there's any indication of stories about Atlantis, they're going to be in those places. Well, it's a nice day. It's a time to chill.
Sea's beautiful, sun's out, and there's only one cruise liner in, so there's not that many people crowding the street.
So this is the Folklore Museum. And we're now going deep down into the old castle area beneath the city, or beneath the town of Horos. Folklore Museum is built in the oldest house in Mykonos, and it's a captain's house, so there's lots of maritime stuff. What amazes me is how big the houses are. They're really, really big. I'm going to ask the guy though whether he knows anything about Atlantis, because he seems pretty clued up on everything else. There's a lass in a cupboard. It's just like being in Amsterdam. So we've been in the Folklore Museum, and I just asked the gentleman about Atlantis and what were the stories about Atlantis. He said it's probably Santorini, but what was really more interesting is that there was a woman there who's an archaeologist, and she says it's a theory, and she talked about Plato, and she talked about things. She talked about the cataclysmic event about 1600 years BC. So we're in the right area. I've just had it on authority. We're working it right. So we're in the Maritime Museum, and yes, there is a reference to the style of ships that they used in what they call prehistory here. They also have some very historically accurate models of boats from my favourite Bible story, the one where the man goes and finds the fleece. The fleece made of gold.
Which isn't in the Bible.
What? I'm sure it
We now have
is.
a cat accompanying us. Hello, kitty cat.
Ignore her. It's there, and it's about the man, and he comes across, and the skeletons come up out of the ground, and he chops them, he throws them off the cliff, and all that. It's all in there. Anyway, there's a model of the ship in there. So if that's real, then the chances are that the other stuff is real, and we're a good chance of finding out. I knew that there was a clue here. I just knew there was. Yes. One of the things about the stories behind this is they're all about Poseidon and the way that Poseidon made a space in a mountain to be able to look after his mistress or something like that. And because Poseidon was the god of the sea, that actually there could be quite a lot of clues in the boats and the maritime stuff, which is why we're here. So there's this idea about Santorini Santorini being that place is because of the physical way that it looked. As a ring with the volcano in the middle. So while we're in the Maritime Museum, I had a good idea. Actually, when you look at the old maps, it's not Delos that's in the middle, it's Naxos. So we're going to catch the ferry. That's not it. But we'll see you in a while. Naxos, the second stage of our search. Actually, in search of our digs for the night, more than anything else. We think we've got somewhere. If not, we do know the cousin of the person we stayed with in the last place can give us some more information. In the meantime, I'm sure we'll figure something out. It's very nice there, it's very quiet.
Lovely.
One thing escaped our attention when we decided to stop in this place is that I've stopped in other countries, Muslim countries, Islamic countries, and you'll woken at sort of 6 by the Muslim call, and the call to prayers in the morning. Some guy coming on, sounds like Bono, giving it his hell for leather. And this isn't that sort of country. But we didn't realise just how close to the church bells we were going to be. So we were awoken this morning with the sounds of bells and the words from Alicia, "It's 10 to bloody 7. Oh, come across quite a surprise. I thought the smoke alarm had gone off. Never mind. What's pooed here?
Pooed on.
You're getting pooed on.
Strong chance of being.
Strong chance of getting pooed on. Strong chance of getting rained on. Got our first few drops of rain. Doing alright, actually. We are in the castle area. The place where, I don't know, Khal Drogo built his castle and something or other. Yeah, say with enough conviction, people will believe anything. And he kept his horses here.
And this is where the festival's going to be.
Is it? Festival, like the sound of that. Bit cloudy today, a few spots of rain. Nice, still managing to get around things. We went to the Metropolis Museum, but it was closed. So we can't go and see the foundations of the castle. We've climbed up the castle to see the stuff up here. And we've come across the Domosh Festival, which we're going to head into tonight. More on that in a while, don't get too excited. It's not like Glastonbury. More evidence of those ancient anchors. They are definitely not the modern anchors that they were using. Those date back many, many thousands of years. So keep an eye on those. Could this be a clue to Atlantis?
Who knows? We will see.
Don't need a waterproof. You live.
It's in my hotel room.
You are waterproof. You're about 50% water, you are.
And the rest of it's fat.
Well,
Beautiful silk.
so it turns out Khal Drogo, or whatever his name was, he was Venetian. That come afterwards and sort of built a Venetian house here. So we're in a Venetian house, and it's absolutely full of mind-boggling stuff. Smashing camera that I've just seen. Bigger than my hand luggage though, so I don't think it's going to be coming home with me. You're going to get lost here, that's it. I've no idea where we're going, but every time you turn a corner it's really pretty. What did you say?
He's got an ant up his nose.
Funny, he's got no problems with walking downstairs at speed. This is work done against gravity. He's going up, not coming down.
So I've just read an article that correlates the speed at which you walk, regardless of your weight or age, is an indication of your health. So I'm notoriously slow at walking, and I'm trying now to increase it very gradually.
I'm looking for that factual book. I'm looking in the wrong section. I'm looking for the one. Do you remember the man from Atlantis? Used to be on the telly. I'm looking for his autobiography. I think I'm looking in the wrong section. For the man from Atlantis, I need to be looking in the autobiography section because he was real. He would know. He would know where he was. Well, that's interesting. Autobiography is right next to the erotica. Oh, I nearly lost sight of the camera then. The man from Atlantis.
Was he?
What did we think of that? He was real. That was a factual documentary. Yet it was on TV. See, that's the bloke, right? The man from Atlantis. The man from Atlantis, and his real name, well, because he was from Atlantis, the name that they ended up giving him was Patrick Duffy, but he really was from Atlantis, so...
No, he wasn't.
What?
He was in Dallas. I'm sure he was. He played Bobby Jr.
No, they just stole his hair to look the same.
No.
No, he really was from Atlantis. Otherwise, why would he have written a book called The Man from Atlantis if he wasn't from Atlantis? Yes, he was. Anyway, I've got to get hold of this book by a man named Patrick Duffy because he seems to be an expert about Atlantis. Dirty girl. Nothing a bit of soap wouldn't cure. So we're going up to the Pillars of Apollo. Portico. I don't know whether there were gates, but it's a magic door. It is a magic door. I tell you, there was a mystery behind it though, because they bought it here and then they didn't actually finish it. They bought it here, I think it was because it was broken or something like that. So instead of building it or repairing it, they just dumped it. So yeah, this is the story of this. So there must have been a reason why it wasn't finished, and I reckon it's because it's magic.
Okay.
Is it a magic door to Atlantis?
Well, we will see.
Might be a portal. We can step to it and find out. See what happens. Bad news, Alicia.
I'll get to it. No.
Because there's a road all the way around. So it's magic proof. Like a mountain gazelle. Although bizarrely, when Solomon was talking about that, he was actually talking about the size of her breasts, not her ability to be able to walk off land. Song of Solomon, curvy book in the Bible.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
Our host, the woman we stay with, just heard of our plans tomorrow and said, oh, on the way, if I give you the keys to my house, will you go and just give it an airing? You know, just let the air through.
Oh dear.
beaches aren't exactly packed. When I was sort of the shoulder of the season, there's really not much action going on here. It's quite pleasant. Good news is the sea's warm as well. But if you want a deck chair, help yourself. So apparently that Gates of Hercules, Apollo, or whatever it is, it's got a story behind it. Apparently that's where Theseus, the guy that killed the Minotaur, that's where he dumped his bird, Ariadne. So that's probably why they didn't bother finishing the rest of it. She probably took all the money in the divorce.
Oh, that's a good shot, isn't it?
It is. The evening of bouzouki music. Yeah. So we come back to the Domo shenanigans. Evening shenanigans. Wine by the looks of it. Where's my wine? Why didn't I get any wine? Oh, it's there. Ooh, good night.
That music were being used at first on a movie made by a famous French movie maker named Jules Dassin.
We are taking the walk of death to whole new heights, specifically 1,004 meters, because we are walking up Mount Zeus, or Mount Zas as it's called here. So you join us in Foloti, and we are on our way to the Spring of Aria, first of all. And from there we continue up the mountain with various stops. My reasoning for this is Naxos being the centre of the Cyclades as it was on the old maps. And then we should be able to see something nice. We'll be able to see that it's the centre. Which of these is Mount Zas?
I have no idea.
I hope it's not that one. That'll be bad. See that? That's Mount Zeus. Is this the right path? Hang on. Don't know whether this is the right path. That's Flotti in the background. We've found the right track. We're heading towards the spring of Aria. Yay, go team. It's nice. It smells though, doesn't it?
It smells gorgeous. We've discovered that it's olive blossom, not lemon like we thought. And it smells so nice.
It's a proper treat. Proper treat. We could have gone up the other route. We're going to come down the other route. But you can drive this way. Well, we don't have a car because we've come on a bus because we're cheap. Can you believe it was like, what was it, €50 each if you wanted to do this as a group? Or you could pay the princely sum of €14 return for 2 on the bus. Yeah! Guess which one we did?
The bus.
The bus. El Cheapo. We just noticed there's some chumps down on a low path down there. And it looks as though they're just trying to make it look hard for themselves. Because this is the path. And it's a road and it's perfectly nice. Got sweaty chubs, mind.
Yeah.
You've got chubs. Taking a brief stop so Alicia could take some tablets. Altitude sickness. I know we live on top of a hill, but it's yeah, doing well.
So have I got to climb up there?
Yeah, that's Mount Zeus.
So you do know how to do cardiac, yeah,
Man, it's
resuscitation.
staying alive,
When I
staying
have a
alive.
heart attack.
Easy peasy. I can't count to 30 though. You'd have to do the counting for me if you die.
Okay.
Look.
I don't need to duck on account of being a short ass.
Short ass is good. It means that when you fall off a mountain, right, your head doesn't fall so far before it hits the ground. Yeah, you might actually live. It does depend upon the height of the mountain. It does look ominous.
The 2.5 hour walk, is that from the foot of the mountain?
No, you've already started. Oh, that's a good drop off there. It's lucky you're not afraid of heights. Been attacked by merciless flies. Don't forget to tip the cameraman later. Bunker wallet that's carried all your water.
That was the deal. I've got the apricots.
You've got the apricot, so I've got to carry 4 litres of water. Right.
You're not carrying 4 litres of water.
Well, I am, because I drunk quite a lot in the cafe before we set off, so I'll need a wee soon. I'm carrying all the water that you didn't want to drink. We're going to come across Arya Stark. No, we're not going to come across Arya Stark. Arya Spring. Soon. What are you doing there? This is pretty.
Fake.
You're going to go sit down. I'm not not sure I'd drink that water.
No, you're right. Cryptosporidium, here I come to the toilet.
It's disgusting.
With the squits. That's what I'll give you.
It's true, isn't it? What was it? 30 days. 30 days self-limiting diarrhea. She was on our bus, she's only turned up. God, you were on the right road. Bella. Come on, stop writing your porn novel. Let's get cracking.
Okay.
You did what? With the luncheon meat?
Right, that's me so far. I can get the rest. We're at the next stop. Next install.
Next stop is Cave of Zeus.
See, if I don't write little things down that I've remembered from last night, like the fact that the belly dancers Friday had got a laparoscopy scar.
No, I think that she'd had several children. Despite the fact that she looked about 14.
Yeah, she definitely got scars. And her skin was really dry. Really, really dry.
What are you suggesting? That she moisturised?
Yeah, she should moisturise.
Moisturise.
Is that 24? It's 20 minutes.
No, it's 20. It's 20. You're right, actually. That's the symbol for foot, isn't it? So it should say 20 foot. It doesn't. It means 20 minutes.
Okay.
But actually, it means 20. It's the same. It's the same thing. Minutes and feet. It's a little dash, isn't it? Or is it a circle? No, that's degrees. Minutes, degrees, minutes and seconds. Yes, it is. Actually, it means 20 minutes. Sorry, maths nerds. Mind the poo.
Lovely.
Go on, you can hang that back up.
Now, if I was a dog, I'd trip over that now.
Oh, Doug, we're really missing you, mate. You should be here with this one. Then again, you'd probably be halfway to the top by now. We're not exactly the quickest. We're not the quickest out of the gate.
What's the competition?
And Alicia's doing it in sandals, you'd be really angry about that.
They're walking sandals. And I've got socks on.
Sandals and socks. Jesus says no.
Don't film me while I'm breathing like a monster.
Monster. Oh. You're doing grand.
I'm doing
I will have to beep that BBC one. Okay, you're going to come up onto that piece there. Left hand.
okay.
Onto that piece at the side of you. Okay.
We're about 10 minutes from the caves.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Okay.
It's that way.
Okay.
Oh, did you have a little bit of a wait? Look at the size of that ant.
What is it?
An ant.
It's not start, but we might have a radio of a lot of start thing.
Ordinary ant. Killer ant of death. That there, that's the cave of Zeus. A lot of flies. Zeus must have been Lord of the Flies. I hated Piggy. I'd have gone into his locker and smashed his glasses myself. God, it stinks. Everything's covered in. Everything's covered in. Scheiße.
It stinks.
It does stink. It's covered in flies. You want to have a look?
No. It stinks.
Move away there, the flies then. There we go. Oh, and there's a spiky, by the way. Spiky bush of death. You're doing fab.
That's like the French fries get.
Alright, it's a nice place to stop here. They're a long way, Alicia. Doing grand. Well done, Alice.
I'm dying.
I'm dying. I know. Dr. Graham told me everything.
I've only got to get to the top of that, haven't I?
Yeah.
Is that all?
45 minutes apparently. Come on. Is it me or is it getting easier? Boobly boobly. Who's that girl? It's Alice.
Oh, God. Can I have some water, please?
How's your mountain?
It's good.
Epic. There's a sharp intake of breath from Alicia there. Nearly plummeted to her certain death. Which would have been a shame because she's drunk almost the last of the water and eaten half the apricots. I would have liked them apricots. The water might have been useful too. It's pretty though. Starting to mellow out a little bit as regards a climb now. A lot less scrabbling. Actually, the foundation's pretty strong. Glad we haven't got to manage that scree.
Dying.
You're dying? You can't die, not here. You can do it!
I'm dying.
You're doing grand. You're right, Doug would be proud of you. Just keep swimming, just keep swimming. That's the way. That's it. Yes, look at this. Doing all right. Oh, look how close we are to that. Over there. You go first.
There's so many flies.
Triumphant procession.
Yes. Come on, Alicia, climb up. Get to the top.
Following the Queen.
First mountain, is it?
Yeah.
Go on then. Get to the top. Rock and roll. magnifique.
All right, exactly.
Well, good news is, attack of the flies. Good news is I made it up the mountain, but there's an extra surprise. So did Alessia.
Hey.
Yep, we captured Mount Zeus. Alicia is dying. She'll live. She'll live. Gotta get down yet though. No idea where they're going.
How's the tips?
Got you. Chips. The reason Lucia is eating chips is because today
I climbed my first mountain.
1,004 meters.
I'm not going to pretend it was easy.
Well, you did the hard route off.
Very sunburned.
The story doesn't end there though, does it? Because this is us. So okay, we didn't see Atlantis from the top. But actually, today we become bona fide backpackers. Listen, what happened after?
And we got picked up by did you say she was an American?
Yes. She was absolutely. Of course, the only French that I can remember is Jules and someone really didn't help. So as a result, we ended up hitchhiking when we got back to town because the bus never picked us up, and it was just joyous. I remember Tony and Bush, continue to right on scene. There isn't a swimming pool here, so I don't remember much French at all. I can't stand a hand sandwich, so.
One thing I did want when we got back was chips.
Red. As if yesterday's climbing exertions wasn't enough. We're now climbing again, this time to the Temple of Demeter, goddess of grain. Hopefully that grain is fermented. Your legs warmed up yet today?
Yeah, a little bit.
No aches, no pains?
Just in my calves. Why are you aching?
No? Doing alright.
Yeah.
So that was the Temple of Demeter. Really weird because it's based on an optical illusion. But also quite a lot to do with the Potara back in Naxos. And also, bizarrely enough, Aristophanes, the classic Greek comedy writer. I like the fact that as Demeter is the goddess of grain, they've surrounded it by lots of grain. It's nice.
Or to Philoti. Father of his grandfather. This is the workshop and the display inside. Easy. But in the jump, in order to get dry. And then we take them out from the other, which are painted, are glazed, After 2 hours, we put a candle on the side. Now, come inside, please. I would like to explain to you the use of this clay object. Okay?
Donkey, 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 donkey.
Put water inside and use.
I think it's a goat actually, not a donkey. Thoughts there. You are feeling sleepy. We are in Kalki. Kalki is the place where they make the Kitron blues. So we're I can't talk. There's going to be a tasting. Ta-ra! Take us to your leader.
The yellow is the strongest and the driest. It has much more alcohol and it has the color of crocus, saffron. The green is the sweetest and mildest. It has much more sugar and it has the color of chlorophyll. And the transparent is between them with no color.
Getting my nerd on. Oh. What are you trying? Can I try the yellow, please? You better not snore tonight.
Yes, please.
Ευχαριστώ.
Could I take this? Cinnamon. Could I take
The green?
Okay.
It's what?
So this is Kalki. Was the old capital because it had a post office and a police station. Those are the only reasons why it was the capital. But it's not anymore. I think they refer to it as Naxos. Town. This is the capital. So apparently this place has got a completely different feel to the other places that we've been to. Because it was one of the old Turkish villages. But bizarrely enough, it looks exactly the same as all the other Greek villages on the island.
Yeah.
Doesn't it? It is.
It does.
It is. This island tour has been quite good though. I'm enjoying this island tour. It's nice. Although I am having more conversations with my neighbour, who's from Kent. And I'm getting the tricks of the trade about how to fly canny. Because she's cabin crew.
What was her advice then?
Oh, there's just too much to repeat onto camera, and if you want to know, you've got to come on holiday with us. Well, I am delighted impressed with your neighbour.
Oh, she's lovely.
Canadian last named Amy, who has come away for 3 months, and she's only bought 14 kilos of luggage, which is properly impressive. That's kudos. Kudos to that. It's nice, pretty here.
Because I'm dying of extreme sunburn, we stopped for ice cream.
Dying from extreme sunburn. It's not extreme, is it? It is a bit bad. You are a bit burned. It's sunburnt though in twice in 26 years. I mean, that's not bad. Caramel.
I like the planters.
The planters are nice actually. You know what? I was just thinking, I've got those tins from KTC oils. But, you know, you get your ghee in, but it's not quite the same as that. They are quite interesting. I do think though that over there says chocolate pig apple, and it's not. It's chocolate pie apple. I wonder what chocolate pig would taste like. So this place that we've stopped at is called Parinthos. Parinthos. It's got a long history. It's not far away. There is a prehistoric acropolis. But actually, this was, and I'm going to read directly from the guidebook. This is today the village's distinctive form of the Greek language, because they have their own dialect here, as echoes of the Great Island. The Parinthos people have always been noted for their spirited politics and popularism, but actually that thought about this place having reminiscent of the Great Island. Could these people here have once been Atlanteans? Which would make Naxos the likely place for the lost city of Atlantis? Good question. Actually, this is a proper nice little town. And there's nobody here. One thing I've learned about churches is that they don't put the heating on, and they don't have any windows because they've all been put through in the past. So it's just nice and cool inside.
Creepy.
Creepy. Yeah. Far too many pictures of Jesus. This could be intriguing. We've got 10 minutes to get round it. Open daily. It's going to take too long to find it. I don't even know where it is. Can't find it anywhere. Maybe it's passed into folklore. We are in Apollon for lunch. So we're going to find some lunch and then we're going to go for a bit of a paddle, I reckon?
Yeah, I'm not going to put my cozy on now.
Alright, well you go for a paddle. Yeah. If you fall in, at least you've got something dry you can put on.
What, swimming costume?
Yes. So that's Apollon. We've had lunch. We've stocked up on wine. Now we're going to make Alicia climb 56 steps. Lizzie's going to climb 56 steps to get all the way to the Temple Koutouki. You should find this easy after yesterday. Oh, no. Maybe not. Has it been 56 steps yet?
Yes.
Yes, good man. It's pretty much how you want to be right now, isn't it, lying down?
The destination of this statue was the Temple of Dionysus at the location Iria in the Livadi Valley near Naxos Airport.
This guy here, they were carving it in situ and they chopped his head off. Which is why it stayed here. It would have been the largest of all the ancient Greek historical artifacts. About 130 tons worth. Once they chopped his head off, they kind of got rid of it. They thought it might have been Apollo at one point, but it's not. It's got a beard. Apollo was very young, so they call it Dionysius, which I thought was a woman. So maybe this is the first trans statue. Very modern.
So here we get an original place, and inside this room, farmers produced olive oil from 1800 until 1963. And inside here, they only use their strengthened hands, not donkeys or horses.
How was your olive oil tasting? So, last night in Naxos, we've taken a recommendation from somebody we met on the tour today called Harinda, who has been here 5 times and told us about this restaurant and recommended the food. So, here we give you Apostolis. So, Alicia, what did you have?
I had pork pancetta with sour cherry sauce and it was dead spicy. It was really good.
Nice. I had the moussaka. It was lovely. What do you think of Naxos?
I'd come back. I really enjoyed it here.
So tomorrow we are moving on to Amorgos, and partly because Atlantis is an underwater thing, and Amorgos we're planning to go underwater and choosing there to see what diving is like, so we can actually scrat around, uncover some stuff. More about Amorgos tomorrow. Good news, everyone. We are in the Metropolis Museum, which was closed in the week, but it's now open. On our trail for Atlantis, we have come to a Mycenaean dig, where they have lots of stuff. And we're going to see when this is. We're looking at about 1000 BC for this stuff, which is a little bit after Atlantis, with the stuff that come after the Minoans, which is probably the area that we're looking at. But is there anything here we can get? Actually, part of the story in there talks about them having to make defences from around about 1250 BC, and they put a lot more focus into defences. Now they thought they had defences, but they actually pictured huge walls. Is that because of the post-Minoan sort of tidal wave that had allegedly destroyed Santorini? Does that suggest that maybe it's more real than just a myth? Don't know. So today we're moving from Naxos to Amorgos. That's our boat behind us. It's a nice, tiny one. We've enjoyed our time on Naxos. It's been good. I'm going to be sorry to see go.
This is beautiful.
Yeah, by Naxos. It's been good. Next place should be even quieter than this place. Is that Atlantis? Or is that the start of Bioshock? I think I've been shipwrecked there before. Because we were being cheap when we booked our tickets to get to Amorgos, we've been on the boat now 2 hours. That is still Naxos. We don't think we've gone anywhere. Dolphins first before anybody else did, ages ago. And John thought I was making it up. I did not. I did not. No, I asked you whether they were sharks or dolphins.
No, that was amazing.
They were definitely dolphins.
I've never seen that before. Did you get any budgie?
And bang on time, 4 hours later, we are arriving in Amorgos. Just that mad scramble before everybody has to grab their bags and get off the boat. Then we can sort out some digs. So we've arrived and yeah, we're just waiting to sort out some digs, you know. Don't want to be going where these are going.
Yeah, they were particularly noisy and raucous and rude and didn't acknowledge that we even existed.
And they were French.
And we did try, I tried to make eye contact a number of times and smile and all sorts, and they weren't having it.
They're rancid. And pissed.
Yeah.
Says check parking brake system.
That got photo bombed so many times.
Okay, so we've found ourselves some digs. That's really quite nice.
They
They are really quite nice. I reckon there's about 30 people staying in this half of the island. And we're just organising some diving ready for tomorrow. Yay, Delta in. We are going diving. Looking for Atlantis, of course. It's going to be underwater. And the sea's like a mill pond.
It is.
So I hope you've packed your travel sickness tablets.
Take them on.
You
I
have?
have to make sure.
Listen, it's as flat as it. I've seen worse plastered walls.
You never know.
Yeah, I don't know why I bothered with the dead cat on the camera today. There was not a breath of wind. It's as still gets. It's warm though. Yeah.
I've never done that before.
You never rolled off a rib?
No.
You're
Oh my god, I'm not going to get out. That's the other thing.
That's where the entertainment's going to lie, isn't it?
Take all 2 of them to get me.
Well, we managed in Turkey.
True, that was hilarious though. I wasn't wearing a wetsuit or weights.
Update then. No sharks here, although we did see dolphins yesterday, so.
That's always a bit over.
What? Get into the water?
Yeah.
What, literally just rolling backwards?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Hello there.
Hola, hey.
The captain.
This you do straight out of Compton.
Beep the police.
Beep the police.
the police.
Beep the police. This is like a new radical way of doing it. You're supposed to drive.
Captain took our food away.
I'm going to go over there. I'm going to go over there.
Because I will need to come. Yep, I need to check something. I will go to the pump open and I want to see if it's still working.
So we're going over there now.
While we was diving open, so it was
for our
working
second
without
dive.
taking water out.
Lots of cool stuff on the first one. Lots of
And so there was always a
from
possibility,
the
you know,
ancient
to come back
wreck.
and find
There's
the
an old
boat,
wooden wreck of the
in
Vrexi.
flames.
The stuff that was there before,
Have fun.
that's all gone.
For you, huh? Not for me.
Alicia, can you grab my GoPro, please, before it drops off the back? There we go. Thank you.
First dive, not so good to start with, because my weights and my suits weren't wet and I couldn't descend, and I got a bit panicky and I used lots of air. Second dive
was quite nice. Lots of tiny nudie branches and stuff like that. Some really interesting life that I've not seen before. A lot less fish, but lots of other interesting things.
Yeah,
some nice,
like
a lot of amorphy as well, sort of pots and things that were deposited from the wreck. Lots of those. Definitely worth going and having a look at. Didn't see Atlantis.
No.
Okay.
But, and now I'm absolutely craving pizza.
Pizza and a beer. Beer and pizza? Beer and pizza. Although, do you want to get in the pool first and get some of the horsiness off you?
No, I want pizza first.
Pizza first?
Yeah. Pizza.
Pizza first. Any comments on your day so far?
Cool. I'm just tired now.
Alicia's tired. She's spent the day diving.
It was really good.
It was really good actually. It was nice.
I'm just suffering now.
Suffering with jam influx. We're just comparing about how much we whittled in our suits.
I waited until mine was unzipped so I could roll it down, and I was in the sea.
I couldn't even do that. I remember Scott used to used to take a slash on the walk down to the beach.
Oh.
Well, surfing in Wales, he wanted something to warm your suit up, but I can't do that. This is about as busy as I've seen it.
It's beautiful here. It is so beautiful.
How would you describe it?
St Ives with no crowds. And no fish and chips. Although they do Naxian chips.
Naxian potatoes. If you ask for Naxian potatoes, what you get is fish and chips. What you get
with oregano.
Chips with oregano. And what they say is that they're traditionally done, but they're made from Naxian potatoes. This is young fella. Let's take you for a walk, mate. Oops. Good deed done for the day. Good karma, that. going. Get onto your knees. Don't float away! Good. As elegant as ever there.
Even if my weight fell flat, I am so buoyant.
Second day of diving. It's lovely. Sorry the camera's a bit misted up. That'll be GoPro's fault again for jamming up the camera once I got in the water. So I had to do an emergency remove battery to reset. GoPro, done for you. So we've had a couple of days where we've been underwater.
Yep.
On our Greek Odyssey looking for Atlantis. We found lots of amphora, so jugs and things like that. That's fine. They knew where they were, so they weren't really lost.
I saw a moray eel today.
Did see a moray eel.
Which for Egypt is not unusual, but for here, they don't see them that frequently. It was a nice, relaxing dive.
It was a really pleasant dive. Lots of grasses. We went looking for seahorses, but I didn't see any seahorses either. C'est la vie. So we've got the rest of the evening, and it's our last night in the north half of Amorgos. Tomorrow we are going to wander down to the southern part, to Horos. So all that remains for us to do tonight is to
watch the sun go down.
Eat and watch the sun down. Yeah, well, yeah. See you in a while.
Sorry, I just burped.
We're good at this. Naturals, you can tell. Lizzie is belching and I'm thinking that my iPhone's about to drop out of my pocket and go into the sea.
Oh, be careful with that. Don't put it in the bag.
No, if I fetch it out, no, if I take my hand out of my pocket, it'll drop out. So I'll leave it where it is, thanks.
Oh, the sunset's beautiful.
It is, isn't it?
I think we can say that's dead.
Hang on, I've got to stop here.
Are you dying?
No, hang on, I do need a wee. But the problem is that you're in Greece and every time you have something to eat, they give you booze. I mean, it's so easy to order a carafe of wine. And you order a carafe of wine, and a carafe of wine is lovely and it's fine, but it comes in a litre.
Well, no, you can have a quarter litre or a half litre.
If there's something wrong with you, you'll order a quarter of a litre or a half a litre. But it comes in litres. And it's not as strong as the stuff that you have at home. But you feel bad all the same for having that much booze. And then it gets to the end and then they bring you this. Normally they would bring you raki, but in this part of Greece they don't. They bring you...
It's raki with...
Raki with honey and cinnamon.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
You probably can't see what we're doing, so I'm going to fix this.
We're talking into the dark. Ah, bright lights.
Okay, we're back on air. So, so they give you this raki with cinnamon and honey, and it's demonic stuff because it tastes really nice. The problem is... I don't know.
The other night, you use your phone to direct us.
Yeah, but I'm using my phone to light. It's got a higher purpose in life right now. one thing I will say is that actually this place is easier to get around than pretty much every place we've been to so far. When you go to Mykonos, you've got this labyrinth style thing. When you go to Naxos, the old town is just a labyrinth. You cannot find your way around anywhere. And you know, it's designed that way. It was designed that way so that when pirates attacked,
They got lost.
yeah, they couldn't get
think
out.
that's so cool.
They couldn't find their way in it. And I've tried it. And trust me, you can't rob anybody and get away. Everywhere you go, you're completely lost. It's epic. It's all to do with pirates. I'm still lost.
No, we don't know.
Alright, I'm still drunk and lost.
I've really enjoyed this place.
What stood out to you as being special about Amorgos?
It's just beautiful. It's very quiet. I don't think you could spend 2 weeks here unless you're prepared to spend 2 weeks on the beach and dive in.
The diving is
I think
good.
if you hired a car,
Nice.
you'd probably get to see the rest of the island
Well, we're going to move on to the south of the island
and hire a car.
next. Although there's quite a lot for us to do in Hora, or Hora with a curly K. We're back to that again, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're back to Hora, where we're going to check out some monasteries and actually the Minoan start of the Minoan ruins. So that's going to be interesting. All right.
Cool.
Cool. Okay, so we've just turned up in Hora, in Amorgos, which is the lower part of the island. We just turned up on a bus. It was a couple of euros. We haven't got anywhere booked, so we just walked through the town, and we've come across this place. It is in the guidebook, but I'm not going to tell you where it is because I don't want you coming here.
It's amazing.
It is.
We've even got a jacuzzi bath.
Just come on, let me show you the whole thing. So, all this beautiful room, we've got the TV, we've got a fire, little nooks and crannies. There's a coffee machine, there is a lovely bed, but also, I mean, Lizzie says there is a jacuzzi as well, so there's a bathroom. Our bathroom is really quite splendid. But I ain't got a jacuzzi
€50 a night.
Yeah, that's what you get for turning up out of season. The bed's a little high. That does worry me. If one of us falls out of bed, one of us is going to die. So Hora is another little rabbit warren of places. Got lost several times already. So behind me you can see the castle. Hello, castle. Hello, kitty cat. There's the castle. Right, okay. That does mean we're lost.
You sure you don't want the anchovies?
Oh, no. Split kebab and chips.
Yeah, kebab and chips.
Yeah.
So this place is so chilled, and we've just been meandering around the streets, and it kind of takes it down a further notch so that it's even more chilled than the bay that we've just come from. And we're sitting in a little cafe now, about to have a Regina beer. It's not spelt like that. But just look at the view that we've got. Perfect, and perfect digs too.
I picked those.
I know. I'm going to have a jacuzzi later on.
Man, I ain't gonna jacuzzi nobody. All we wanted bubbles, bit of fun on the
We'll
top.
have to see whether there's enough hot water to fill it though.
Yeah,
That will be the tester, I guess. So we're being really traditional, having kebab and chips.
You're such a pikey.
I know, but hey, I'm on holiday.
There you go. Couple of vaginas.
You are so good.
The gaggle keeps on giving.
Tastes good anyway.
Tasty vaginas. I've found something to go with your vaginas.
Are you being rude again?
How much for the gourd? I've not had half a beer yet. Kind of goes with the kebab and chips vibe.
Right.
Well, that thing down there, that beach down there, that's Agiani. Agiani is where they filmed Le Grand Bleu. The Big Blue.
Oh yeah.
Well, they filmed some of it down there.
Is that where all those French people were going?
This is for the French people. After all Luc Besson fans. Do you want to walk down?
Not enough flip-flops now.
Alright. Maybe tomorrow. Can you see Atlantis? So it's our plan today to go climb up to the monastery, which is quite a spectacular view. It's a bit of a hike, but I've got a plan. Then we'll get some breakfast.
Okay.
Still smiling? Like a mountain gazelle. Actually, to be fair, you probably move about the same sort of pace as goats, because goats, you never see a goat run, do you? To the monastery.
Have you put juice on your face?
Yes. Some orange juice. Attracts the flies. So apparently, this monastery, they eat chilled monkey brains.
Oh yeah.
They're the keepers of 3 sacred rocks, and they make the children work in the mines, and they all have to sing omnibum shomnibum, and all that sort of stuff. It's true, and there's assaulting this really small child, weird, with a strangely English accent. I don't know. You practice it.
Oh, my part of this is to just shriek all the time.
Yeah, you have to do a lot of shrieking. You go to bed in nothing but your jewels.
I wish I'd got jewels, babe.
I have to keep my family jewels close to me when I sleep. I'm a rather vicious cat.
We'll get some lotion on your shirt.
My shirt's in danger of getting a tan. Omnibom shomnibom.
How is these better than trousers? This is ridiculous.
That's through the magic of editing. They're looking after us up here. This is a more honeyed, smoother version of the cinnamon and honey raki stuff you get down in town.
The next time I need to bring at least one long-sleeved shirt.
Mark on the monks. You won't do.
Does it look like a marshmallow man?
Sort of, yeah, white and pink. Yeah, you look like a bag of marshmallows. Classy. Your knee's gone. But it's still there, I can see it. It's still there, I can see it. It's through the magic of editing it. Just got to get back down now. Go all the way down to the beach. Like that. I believe there's a cafe there.
Oh, excellent.
Bizarrely, we're walking up again. This time to get down to sea level. Say the bit. We've just seen people on motorbikes.
Yeah. There's no hospital on this island. We found out yesterday.
And they are wearing t-shirt, shorts at best.
Yeah, they've got helmets on. No body gear. Nothing to protect them if they come off.
Oh, it's really tempting to think, oh, hire a motorbike, it'd be great, whiz around the island, Greece, you know, hey, ciao, bella, and all that sort of stuff. But I've got to be honest, not on this island, not without a hospital. The roads are terrible as well. Shh, don't tell anybody. They all pay the same tax. That's why they're unhappy here. Having to pay the same level of national insurance, or what are the equivalent of national insurance, and yet they don't even have a hospital. If the weather's bad, the helicopter won't fly out to them. So there's no first aid care or anything on this island, no primary care.
Have a heart attack.
Try not to have a heart attack on this long, steady uphill section. We're not quite halfway up yet, we're about a third of the way up. But we've got no shade to the top. Different to what I expected. I saw the word monastery and I thought it was going to be all like Kung Fu and, you know, like the Shaolin monks, but different.
No monkey brains.
No chilled monkey brains. No children working in the mines. All the things I'd sort of expected. Although we did hear somebody when they were singing Omnibom Shomnibom as they were walking along, which was a bit weird. So it's another day. It's another ferry, another island. Just waiting for the ferry. We've got an hour and a half, so we've come up to the botanical garden. Very, very quaint, very, very peaceful. In Catapola, at the bottom of Amorgos. And it's lovely. There's a beautiful, comprehensive collection in the herb garden, including some herbs that are fairly dangerous for you. Look at that poppy over there. The citrus, large collection of citrus trees, a tiny thing. But actually, even what I like here is that they dry their herbs and sell the herbs that they've grown. So they have their own little drying lab where you can see the racks of things. It's the start of the season, so there's still a lot of digging and development going on, but it's turning out to be a really nice place. It looks like they do entertaining of the evening. Quite a lot of beer by the looks of it. The UK is still a member of Europe, and as it is a member of Europe, we still get free roaming calls, as we do from Greece. Thank you to the Greek government. So Alicia's on the phone to Esther, and I'm just sitting here drinking Greek coffee, chilling at the view.
His feet are quite bad. They think he's probably diabetic, and he's off to his appointment at the hospital tomorrow to find out what's going on with his prostate. So that's why we've been ringing. Anyhow, give my love to everybody
Greek
there.
coffee is a lot like Turkish coffee.
And we'll be back on
very strong.
Back on the 7th.
You've got to
so
have
we'll
it with sugar because you want the sugar in your life. It's good. It's more relaxing time. I'm in a relaxing sort of vibe. So we're just approaching Folegrandos. It's amazing how rude some people can be when they have to sort of get on an offer boat. I'm getting off first, didn't we? This is Folegrandos. This is going to be much more chilled. Much more chilled than Amorgos. Much more chilled than Amorgos. We have been on Folegrandos 15 minutes from the port, and the journey is 3 kilometres to get here, but we've made a special friend already. Who's a teeny weeny little fiend, aren't you, dearest? Yes, and she's settling in, so yeah. Do you know what I like about Folegrandos already? There's no safe in the room. Clearly don't need one. Folegrandos is lovely. Also didn't tell you that we're doing our best to slum it around the Greek islands. Really slumming it. So I won't tell you about the pool or how nice it is. That is one chilled cat. Siri is reading the map because we are in Folegrandos and we don't know where we're going, but actually there are 3 reasons why I'm already in love with it. Firstly, we've already had kitty fuss time. Secondly, we didn't think it was actually possible, but this place is even more chilled than Amorgos. I mean,
yeah,
it is.
it is.
Our host has been invited to the wedding, so we know that there's a wedding going on. That's why this is. I'm dressed for the occasion. So we're about to hit Folegrandos town, and today we are going up to the Church of Sirtaki because it's on the side of a hill with about 1 million steps to go. You feel protected by this low wall. It's not bad though, is it? The guidebook says it's a 20-minute walk. Theo says it's a 15-minute walk. Does that include all the stops that you have to do? Like every 30 foot or so, because your legs just go, what are you doing? So that there is the capital horror of Folegrandos. It has 3 ATMs. That makes too much noise. I'm gonna run like a Jesus pilgrim.
This isn't too bad actually.
Actually, it's nice barefoot. Is it me or is that getting farther away?
I'm not going to be able to go in, I've got bare shoulders. Mind you, I've got my shawl with me.
Well, they're not going to let me in, not with my new heathen necklace. Made of sacred stones carved from the mines of Omnibom Shomnibom. Bitches better be serving raki at the top, innit?
Yeah.
Oh my grog, man. Why else would you walk up a hill for a church? Actually, more to the point, why would you put the church up at the top of a hill anyway? I mean, that's not really encouraging. Know your customers. You sort of remember this sort of religion, and to be honest, you don't really want religion to impact on your life. And if you've got to walk up the top of a hill to accomplish nothing, then why would you build it up here? Know your audience. Poor marketing. Put it down there. Put it next to the pub. That's what you do. You put churches next to pubs. I'm going to shock you now with my factual knowledge. You can see lots of terracing in the landscape, and they didn't actually do that for purposes of farming, because now Egypt would farm there. What they did is they did that just to allot land so that they could divide up ownership. Why you'd want to own that crummy bit of land that is all likely going to drop in the sea in the next 10 years. I don't know. You're here.
How red am I?
Yeah.
Super red.
No, it's hard to say with this sunburn. I think the Jesus man's been stiffing everybody on the holy water. I can tell it's definitely Ruvos terrible water. Does he just give it an extra blessing and then sort of go, it's holy water? Is that how you kill vampires?
I bet they have to use bottled water.
What, for vampires?
No.
Sure, you can't use just tap water for vampires. You have to have it blessed by 3 popes or something like that. Maybe they're Orthodox vampires. That's what it is. They're different. You need a different juju. So Jesus is out, but he's left us a beautiful view. Thanks, mate. I'm having to fight my very best Lara Croft instincts, because I know that if I push that open, I get a reward. If I do, it might be like that scene at the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark, where their face melts and the giblets and all the Nazis die. I like that bit actually. Oh, it's great. What you found, Als?
Just more beautiful views.
All I can think about when I see all that water is that I really need a wee now.
Come on then, let's go.
No, let's go up.
I'm not going up.
Did people disappear up there? I want to see what's
I'm
up
not
there. Yeah, come on. No, come on, it'll be cool. It'll be cool. What's the worst that can happen? I mean, how will you know if I fall to my certain death and peril? To be fair, there's no secret catacombs. I think it's just the garage. It's just the place where they keep the washing machine for when the Jesus, man gets his clothes dirty. Well, I wasn't constipated at all. Just seemed to flow out. So this is the town centre. I suppose technically it's a city centre because it's Moreira. It's got a post office. But this is one of the two squares. There's lots of squares there. This one is the square. The next one over is called the Piazza, which is a bit weird because we're not in Italy. But we're all right. I don't think Atlantis is here.
No. I'll have to see whether it's in Santorini.
Well, there is talk that it was Santorini. People did say that because it's circular shape with the volcano in the middle. I've got nuts in my teeth. I'll edit that out.
Was that from the Turkish delight?
Yes, just to specify, yeah.
Are you okay?
Mm-hmm. So in cat news, Rita here doesn't have a name, so I think we're going to call her Rita.
No.
This is about my favourite place in Greece. Amorgos was close, wasn't it?
Mhm.
Loved Amorgos. But this is the first time I feel really spoiled. Gina's been a bit relaxed, hasn't she?
Mhm. You're chilled out, aren't you? Chilled out, kitty cat.
I was saying it's a flexible sort of island, but they even write up the bus timetable on a blackboard. Subject to change? I rather think so. So today we are not using the bus, we are actually walking. We are walking along to the next village, which is somewhat of an hour away. We have a compass. No, that's not how you use a compass. Yes, that's better. So we are walking towards the next village along Moreira Beach. It's about an hour away, an hour and a half away, maybe 2 hours away. So yeah, but we're doing this the fun way, and we're just going to use a compass instead. We're walking vaguely northwest. It's because you're holding the needle points to the north. Hold it flat. Did you never do orienteering as a kiddie?
No, I did geography. There's a sign anyway.
Oh, spoil sport, yeah. Yeah, okay, spoiler alert. We were doing this by compass just because it was fun. But there's only gone a Platia road sign in the way.
This is just lovely. And it's not too hot. This is perfect weather for me.
Look at that drop of certain death. Surely you're in extreme peril.
But you can still break your leg though.
Break a leg. I had rabbit last night. It was damn nice. You had goat, didn't you?
Yeah, there was just too much food there.
It was a cheerful taverna.
Dubious standards of hygiene.
Dubious, yeah, but I'm okay with that. Okay, there was so much salt on that bread that trust me, nothing was going to live in it. We're actually trying to prove here is that, well, I think we've had it too easy this trip. We've stopped in real nice places. 3 days here, 4 days here, a couple of days there, that sort of thing. But I reckon we've had it too easy, so holidays are meant to be torturous. So we're here today, we are getting trekking and getting lost. Alicia said that just as we started to walk off road, and just as the camera started rolling, she said, "Did anybody mind if I just had a quick wee. You might be already on there.
How steep does that go?
I don't know. Goes up over there. Ooh. This is not a pathway. Beehives.
I thought the first people had dumped washing machines because we've come across a few of those.
Yeah.
There's no recycling on the island at all.
I'm going to go down to the beach down there somewhere. Ta-da! You're at the summit of something or other! So equipped with a compass and a map, we managed to get lost. We ended up on some goat track with a hill that even the goats had given up on. Do you remember my Adam? If you see poo, you know you're still safe. Run out of poo. So we decided to turn back. So we're currently lost somewhere. I know Mira's that way, Horos that way. Some bloke up there. Stuck in a rave cycle, waving his arms about. Oh, this place isn't lined. Just got to get the right side of the island, or rather, actually, we've got a westerly wind at the moment, so the east side of the island is beautiful and calm, but it's only about 200 metres to the other side of the island. Not really spoilt for choice, are we? I mean, it's beautiful places. You've just got to be prepared to scramble to get to them.
It's beautiful.
Don't scramble it. So we're at Aerides.
Nice traditional food.
Yeah. And Elmira just seems to be sort of spread out along the road. It's houses, it's little churches, practically no tourism sort of stuff going on. It's very quiet.
It is. Very quiet.
It's clearly rush hour. Touch your sightseeing there, Alicia. Hello, you. Oh, yeah. So, time to move on from Folegrandos. Oh, it's been very relaxed and we are now off to Milos. So, yeah, another ferry, another island, another step closer to Atlantis. In the meantime, there is cake. How's your cake? You don't look convinced.
It's a bit like red pudding, it's really
It's a nice, pleasant, well-paced port. We're just bewailing the loss of our kitty cat now that we've left Folegrandos.
so sweet. Never had a look at that.
No. So we've arrived at Milos. Much bigger place than the last place. Yeah. There was no vomito now with chunks just at seawater on this trip, was there?
No.
Nope, did well there. So we're just wandering about looking for our digs. It's around here somewhere. Your pair just leapt out of the bin.
Yeah. They were a little bit more feral.
Feral. Feral's another word for it. Right, let me find out where I'm going. You join us on the promenade of Milos. What is this swish? Quite swanky.
Yeah, more people than Folegrandos.
Yeah, many more people. There's roads here that actually have junctions. And there's many more cars. Many more people. I ain't much more choice, but hey, you know. I booked us into a right rough place, though, haven't I? Dreadful. How was your shower with your molten brown soaps? Yeah, disgusting. So we have caught the bus and come to Platia, which is the main town of Milos. And so far we haven't seen a single person. I've heard a piano down there, and I can hear talking up there, but this is the way to the centre apparently. So we're here because we want breakfast. I don't have a map, but I do have the name of the place, but I don't know where it is, but I'll see whether I can get a view first. Get that cat out of here. I love that authentic Greek recipes actually means meat on fire. We were just sitting here, just contemplating what have been the most memorable things of the trip so far. Angry bus drivers and nice bus drivers. Church bells going off at
10 to bloody 7
in the morning. What else have we done? Climbed the mountain. Been sneezed on by a cat and then immediately been pooed on by the same said cat. That's probably why I have some lung disease and monkey bum AIDS. Talking about kitty cats. Kitten time
I've
on
never wanted
Folegrandos.
to take a holiday cat on before.
I even worked out that actually it was about half a kilo, and if I shed some of the clothes that I bought with me, well, it's magnificent, but if I shed some of the clothes, it could actually make the weight sacrifice sufficient to get the kitten home.
It wasn't to be.
No, that kitten is bringing joy to other people's lives now, and it was happy where it was. But it did look amused and very sad when I walked away. It's been an interesting Odyssey. We still haven't found Atlantis, but we've got one more shot at that. Because I've been reading a book about Akrotiri. Pronounced right, Akrotiri, which is the in the south of Santorini, which people think might have been the civilization that was the alleged Atlantean one, but we don't know. So
We'll see.
yeah, so we're spending a couple of days on Milos, and then we're going to head out to the island of Santorini. How did we do this without the internet before? Maybe it's made it much easier to do this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I think too easy. We need to do this in a more challenging way. What about for our next adventure? What about if we did it where there was no internet?
What's the probably isn't in Belize?
I think Belize has got the internet. They even speak English there, so they must have the internet. For the next one, let's see whether we can find somewhere that doesn't have the internet. Just to make it more challenging for us. Well, you've got to rely on maps and compasses. You don't look convinced.
Sorry, your dad's just texted me.
Milos belongs to the cats. There's more cats here than...
Anywhere we've been so far.
Yeah, they far outnumber humans. 2 to 1, easily. To the point where you actually look scared. You feel scared when you're around because you're like ganged up on. What I will say that Milos is very, very pretty. It's quite a big island as well. I mean, we're relying on the buses and things to get us around because I quite like that. You can hire cars hired everywhere. But I've just seen some old blokes trying to ride scooters, and one of them looked like he was about to die. I mean, he really did not look safe on that, did he?
No.
Death was awaiting him, and it was going to be mostly a gravelly end. Really bad. He's just tripping over. Actually, that's one of the things I've liked about this place. When we were in Folegrandos, there was a little shop, and on the outside of the shop it was just hibiscus, and as you walked of an evening into the square area, the smell of hibiscus just hit you, and it was massive. It makes me want to grow hibiscus at home, but it won't grow in the UK because it's not warm. Rubbish.
Gorgeous, isn't it?
We sure have got through a whole load of honky juice on this trip. This is my second bottle. I reckon there's just enough to get us to the end of the trip. I'm glad we stopped where we did. There's a lot more stuff happening down in Adamas. It's quaint up here, but there isn't much option to eat stuff. I mean, down where we are, we've got buses, we've got boats. Yeah.
It is beautiful up here, though.
It is quaint, but a little too quiet. Is it possible?
After being on Folegrandos, I don't know.
No, I don't know either. Bizarre. So we're heading towards the catacombs and the ancient theatres, Roman theatre. Now, have a good assurance, these are the biggest Christian catacombs outside of Rome.
Cool.
Another place I've never been to. So, it's from what I can remember, down in the catacombs they keep dragons.
No.
They don't. They do. They keep dragons. It's where the dragons were kept, was down in the catacombs beneath the keep. It's true. Delicia's favourite. Steep stone steps. You're right there, Alf. So we went down the catacombs, but it wasn't like the Red Keep. We didn't see any dragons or any dragon squats.
No, but it was still amazing.
It is amazing. It's about 200 metres long. It's about 2,000, more than 2,000 tombs down there.
Most of the bones are gone though.
Most of the bones are gone. A lot of the stuff that was added there was graffiti from recent times. Only one original piece of graffiti there, with original inscription, which gets pointed out. It was a brief tour, but it was worth it.
Yeah.
I wish we'd have seen dragons.
Oh yeah. Should we head up? Cold drink awaits, I think.
Oh yes. If that cold drink could be in the form of a beer, that would be even better.
Yeah.
Have some light on you. So these tombs, they're a lot more recent than in the Atlantean mythology. Reality. These are very much Roman ones.
Yeah.
They were Catholic tombs. It's nice to get a feel for being underground. I suspect we've got a lot more underground coming when we get to Akrotiri, because that's all archaeological excavation. So this is the Roman theatre. the Aphrodite of Milos, Venus de Milo. Apparently, Venus de Milo was found here. There is a map. I'm not reading this off the sign at all. You are here. So I guess we go there. So we go this way. This way of doom. Do you know where you're going to? Boobly boobly something, something, something else. And we have to walk right off the end of the cliff. Honky juice up my nose.
I haven't got a tissue, so...
No, that's fine, just means I won't get some dirt there.
I've got a sanitary towel.
Ancient theatre this way. Yeah, I could dry it out with a tampon, couldn't I?
Yeah.
Then I could go like roller skating and stuff.
Or you could have my silk scarf thing.
To use as a tampon?
No, my silk scarf.
It's just a bit big. No, it's silk finish. For extra comfort. I love the fact that they're still using it as a theatre. They're running shows in there.
Yeah.
Shame
Like the Minak.
A bit like the Minak. Yeah, it's a shame we're moving on because the next show's on Saturday night. So they didn't just have an actor's stage. The large semicircular drop would also hold the orchestra. And it would have a wooden, not a wooden floor, it would have an earth floor. And that drop was also very useful because they would hold gladiatorial events or animal fighting in there as well. So the orchestra would be down here and this would be the stage area. There's bells up there, House. Guess what time they go off?
7.
About 10 to 7. 10 to bleeping 7. Want to spit some rhymes, do you? Want to throw down some beats for the crew?
That's okay.
So we've walked from Platia to the catacombs and the ancient theatre, and we walked to Tripti, where the views are just, I don't know, this problem with Greece is it doesn't matter where you go in Greece, you come across these views that just make you sort of stop and go, oh, I'll stay here and I'll have a beer. It's mind-achingly beautiful. It's too beautiful. That's the problem. Greece is too beautiful.
Is that your one criticism?
Yes. You just can't get anything done. Because every time you turn a corner, you go, oh, I'm going to get my camera out, I'm going to film this. Too lovely. That's the problem. I don't know if anybody gets anything done at all. That's the funny thing, while I've been away, I've actually got used to the fact of ordering cheap pissy wine. The sort of wine that you wouldn't touch at home. Kind of... Are you drugs and wine cocktailing?
I can't take those yet. It's mefenamic acid and 1 paracetamol.
All you need to do is cook that with a little bit of oregano and this. It's the good stuff. Mefenamic acid. Go on, have half. Mushroom porno. I'll tell you what, them haven't been grown in dog poo. We've had the wine, zucchini balls. There's 3% left on the battery, so let's be honest. Whatever we've had here, you can't slim, you can't diet in this country. It's not possible. No, everything is designed to make you as bloaty and as slow as possible.
So yesterday we went up to Platia and the catacombs and the Roman amphitheatre and all that sort of stuff. Today we are going to go around the whole island on a boat. So there's going to be lots of swimming, some snorkeling. I've bought the ouzo, which we need to finish because it just needs to. I can't carry it any longer. Yeah, 10 hours on a boat with Hurley McChunk pants here. Vomito in crunchy and smooth. Just add seawater.
Have you taken a travel sickness tablet?
No.
It's going to be brave.
You see the colors, eh? The red color, iron. The black color is manganese. These are old mines.
The visibility is disgustingly good, isn't it? Who lives in a cave like this? It is Captain Caveman.
Yellow color is gold.
Stop.
Can't see the tombstone. Do that. Gravity's on your side, remember? Step off.
Yeah, you are getting in the water.
I'm just going to make sure that I've got my towel.
This is all right.
¿Te quieres tirar más?
I've got a lot warmer by then.
You're taking the tablets, isn't it?
Got another 7 hours of next day.
So these beaches here, even in high season, are always deserted. Which means you can always get a space on them. Yes, but you can't get to them because the road, they won't allow a rental car in because it's infected by the Milos viper.
The cave of Sika, guys, we stopped for a photo. It's a cave with no roof, and it's the place where mermaids are coming to rest.
Maybe if they've been shagged out after a long sort of sing-song. Or is that sirens? Oh. Crashed. We were nearly wrecked upon the rocks by the sirens.
Don't you crash the boat?
We crashed once. This boat does not fit into that hole.
But Platica.
The busiest hotspots on the island. Barely get space on the coast.
Somebody's taken the seasickness tablet and it's made her a bit sleepy.
The food on this boat, just want to say, superb. Our chef has worked all day and is still on it. So whatever he's cooking up now, if it's anywhere near as good as the cuttlefish and risotto thing, just fine. Absurdly good. So we're all swimming, where we saw our cuttlefish and some beautiful eel. It's yellow and black. I need to check that when I get back. Don't know what it is, but certainly know what the cuttlefish was. I do wonder how many scenes from Star Trek have been filmed on this little bit of land here. They say it looks like a bear. Well, I think it looks like a bunny. Maybe I'm thinking of Stefano too much. Successful fishing. Did see plenty of fish today. That I was surprised to see. The Mediterranean moray identified now. And the cuttlefish. And the cuttlefish.
And that big shell thing.
Didn't find Atlantis.
Man.
Suspect that we're moving on tomorrow, we might have a better chance of finding that because we are on the way to Santorini. In the meantime, we hadn't spent 10 hours on a boat and have eaten like kings and queens. There's room for a Horos and that's it.
Best moussaka ever, isn't it?
I did feel a bit bad when I saw the cuttlefish because I saw the cuttlefish at dinner. And it was a different one, but it was clearly related. Well, the food, the moussaka, as you say, was the line. And the cuttlefish was even better. So, right. The guy says we can check out whenever we want tomorrow. He's not bothered. Says if it was high season it's different, but nah, go when you want. So we've got scropping consumption. We've got quite a long day tomorrow before we make our next destination. Till then, I'll be into. You nearly missed your mouth. Even the ferry's got some jazz about the forming of Atlantis, so we're heading in the right direction. These high-speed ferries are a lot faster than the other smaller boats that chug backwards and forwards. But then again, you don't get to go outside. You miss the chance of seeing dolphins too. This is Santorini port when it's actually quiet. They've just been loosing off flares down there. No idea why, but before we do anything else, we'll give a chance for the traffic to clear and we'll get some food. Yeah, we're going to call you 2 bags for sure. Named after that infamous rapper who also was seasick. Maybe?
It was a bit rough. So unlike Naxos and Amorgos where it was like a mill pond, this was dead chocolate.
It was. You did well. Even after a point, you still did well. You kept your dignity.
I was on my hands and knees being into a bag, and I think that's dignity.
It's more dignitas than dignity. Oh well, never mind. So here we are at our destination.
And it's busy, the port is really busy. So different to the other ports.
It's just Santorini and it's a bit manic. After being chilled, you're not used to this. We've been a bit pikey. And we've decided to slum it a bit because the last place we was spoilt at. Really. We've been spoilt all along this trip. To finish off, we thought we'd sort of rough it a bit.
Oh yeah.
With our own private spa bath. Oh yeah. Oh yes. So this is us. This is our bed and private balcony. Yes. Complete with the pool.
Don't clock me right back at the edge of all. I'll try not to. Hello. Have you got a sound on that? I just spoiled your shots.
No, it's fine, I'll overdub it.
That was gorgeous.
You enjoy that, did you?
Yeah, really nice.
That was
So it's a bit weird after being on quiet Greek islands to come here. It's a bit like going to Barcelona after being in Tossa de Mar.
It is. It's really chaotic.
Yeah.
It's a cacophony of noise. There's bars everywhere, and they're all trying to do the thing. Yeah.
I'm not completely overpacked, but it's so different from the smaller Greek islands.
And the wind coming off the caldera is really cold. So if the camera is shaking, it's my bad. I should have put a jumper on.
And the ferry crossing was decorous. But the meal tonight was gorgeous.
Yeah, the meal was excellent tonight. I had some sort of pork with gravy and mushy peas.
Chicken with ouzo. And the pudding.
Pudding was nice, orange cream.
Millefleur.
Millefleur.
It's millefillet.
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 Anyway, you're not here to talk about this. You're in Santorini, so
Let's have a look at the sunset then.
you want to see the volcano and the caldera?
Wow.
There you go. As I say, it's windy. And it's cloudy. Fair dues. Is that Atlantis over there?
Do you think we finally found it?
It's a little bit of investigation before we finish.
Yeah.
One last thing I need to check. Should we be tourists? We're going to head kicked. Found ourselves in the archaeological museum, which is all in French. So I'll try and translate some of the bits. And there's oils, chiblis, methodology, les structures, funéraires. Right, okay, burial places. This is the thing. Burial places. This will make sense in the end. Because it was the French that did a lot of the digging up. Including Naxos, Delos. So yeah, that's a nice collection of pots. Keep your weed in there. I haven't got a clue. What was all that about?
I don't know.
I think it was about when they actually dug up a lot of the places. So it's the story of the bloke that dug it up, but actually it's done better in Delos.
Yeah. And they've got this thing about the fact that because he was a French person, that there's no translations in English at all, where everywhere else does English translations, which is just bizarre.
Are you saying that all people must speak English?
It's the norm, John. It's the norm that they would have translated it
But
into English.
I think you're being a bit.
No, that's assuming that everybody internationally can read French, and they can't.
The French can't speak English, so why would you pick on the French?
Can't they? Well, of course they can.
Moving on. Who's Jizzy Megaron? I mean, it's his porn name.
Do you want to go?
Yeah, go on then. Jizzy Mega Ron. Mega Ron. Worry about finding out the full story of Jizzy Mega Ron. There's no surprise. Jizzy Ron had a mega family. That's probably where he got his name from. So interestingly, in this place, they've actually got old drawings of the maps of what Santorini looked like, and it was a tiny, tiny dot. Then it was a solid mass. So it didn't really look like that sort of concentric circles. Fascinating little collection. It's got nothing to do with Jizzy Mega Ron. It's actually the history of Santorini. So Jizzy Mega Ron wasn't quite the porn fest we were expecting, but it was a beautiful little museum all about the history of Santorini, particularly since its volcanic eruptions, and lots of photographs and stuff from the illustrated London Times and all that about the reporting of when it happened. So there's before and after pictures of the destruction. Really quite nice, but the one important thing was Santorini was originally just a small, tiny dot, then it grew to be a solid island, and only after the subsequent eruptions and earthquakes did it actually become this sort of volcano with a circle around the outside. So even before we get to Akrotiri, it's looking doubtful as to whether this was actually the legendary Atlantis. But then again, you don't know. Prehistory, maps change. Let's hope it's still Atlantis. One last chance, eh? Notes on Santorini. Everybody says it's expensive here. Isn't it? We're quite happily living off street food, which is very, very tasty and appropriate. It's expensive. We're managing to backpack. I think Mykonos is more expensive than Santorini. I'm not going to say that too loud, but these guys can probably hear me. It's a little bit of a climb coming up the caldera. The top is up there, but we're not going to go all the way to the top just yet, because we are going down. Because we are going over to that. So earlier on we popped into Jizzy Ron's place, and Jizzy Ron told us that originally the island was just a tiny bit out of that way. Then it became a solid lump. And then when the volcano came, it just had to ring around the outside. But we're going to go over, investigate the volcano.
Yeah.
You look sort of lava coloured right now. It's a bit cruel and it's very unnecessary. People pay for a donkey to carry you up and down. Plus the fact it stinks. A nice river of piss there. She had a giant game, didn't make it, did she? Blitzing our way up the volcano. It's almost like Mars. Just rocks everywhere. The reason you get different colours in the lumps of rock here, nothing to do with the cooling rates at all. This volcano is just the central crater to what is the super volcano of the whole of Santorini. And it's been 80 odd years since they've had an eruption. So it doesn't happen today, eh? That would be bad. It was a wet winter, so there's lots of grass growing at the top. But it managed to last to the beginning of May, and then it all died. Sit down, but I've just burnt my arse. Ironically sitting down. It's very, very hot. Not because of any geothermal, it's because it's been in the sun.
If we're in it. Okay, you're in it. There you go.
And this is us coming from the not so hot springs on Santorini. It's about body temperature at best. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're making waves around me now. I'm the dog.
As you can see at the level of the sea are the cave houses, a typical architectural style of the island of Santorini. This is the best spot. Yeah, this is the famous spot of Amorgos. I'm sure they have heard of it, right here on the island of Santorini. This is a multi-day, I think.
I said, don't put me on the party boat. Yeah, it almost looks as though the whole island has turned out to pop once the sunset. It's like there's not one unit yesterday or the day after. Thank Jesus, the music's finished. Hi.
Do you want a slap?
Should we make it rock a little bit?
Domestic abuse.
I have witnesses. I have witnesses. Hello, hello.
Be careful, there's a lot of stairs down.
Yeah. The good thing is that she's a lot slower than I am down the stairs, so I can.
You won't see her coming then,
I
is
can
it? She'll see
escape
from
quite
behind.
easily.
It was those donkeys, they got in the way.
You were slower than a donkey. You were overtaken by a donkey. Is that what you were saying?
At one point, the donkeys wouldn't let me get past.
That's just nothing to be proud of.
They blocked the road. We went on the one in Madeira and I was fine.
Oh, yeah, we can see what's happening now. Look, you can look out the window. Look at all the ground below you, miles away. Chin chin all. Luxury time because we're on Santorini. So, Alicia. And if I hear some sort of spanking going on, I am going to wet myself after. Because every time you've had a massage, there's been spanking involved. The jury's gonna hold you to account on this one. I don't want to be spanked, not today. This is about as close to the possible site of Atlantis as we're going to be, because we are in Akrotiri, the archaeological site of ancient Akrotiri, believed to be sort of pre-Minoan time, alleged to have ended with the volcanic eruption because of its unique feature. Again, Santorini could be one of those possible sites of Atlantis. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun.
And then they separate salt from stone and they start to rebuild the city. Other indications from the volcano 2 weeks later compelled the citizens to abandon the city for a second time, like the gas that came out, for example. Actually, we don't know where they went. To do excavations there is too difficult, as the depth of the caldera is more than 400 meters.
So it turns out this does predate Minoan, but they're looking at this as being abandoned. They took everything, animals, jewellery, 300 years before the destruction of Naxos. We've been to Naxos and Festos in Greece. And actually, during the excavations, they also realised that there's no palace here. I mean, they've only uncovered like a 5% of it. So they didn't really have anything in common at this point with the Minoans. The Minoans seem to have self-destructed under a war with the Mycenaeans. When they put the new roof in, they obviously had to excavate down for where the pylons went for the roof. And they realised that there's actually traces of Neolithic villages beneath this, which they reckon was thousands of years before that. So they had negatives of where the timbers from the olive trees that they'd grown here, they had negatives left in the buildings which they filled with gypsum. You get these representations of the beams that they put in. The houses that you see there, private houses, as opposed to the other ones which were more administrative. They were beautifully decorated, and one in B6 had got very blue expensive colouring that had come from Egypt, not lapis lazuli, but they depicted monkeys. Now, there's never been monkeys on Santorini, so the one thing that you can say is that they've travelled Asia Minor and long distances. So we're looking at quite a formidable culture. So that there's the lady's house now. A guide, when he was 13, worked as a volunteer on excavating it, and he just showed us some of the frescoes that they found there, and they painstakingly put back together again. The women were ladies of leisure, but they had tweezers and all sorts of accoutrements that would enable them to well, tend to themselves. That sounds terrible. Feeling good about myself, they were all short arses, 1.5 meters tall, tiny beds.
Here, a stone mill in order to grind our grains. Imagine that it was a private kitchen, this house, no?
Wow.
There is a place for the olive oil, for the wine, over there the fireplace in the hall.
So they reckon that this is the sort of the central part of the city, despite the fact that they've only uncovered some of it. While in Naxos and Fessos, the royal chambers had lower floor toilets. Here they had upper floor flushing toilets with a sewage system that would take it away, that was fixed by lead and other things, with a metal tank on top. Quite remarkable stuff. I mean, way advanced, way more advanced than the Minoans. Truly advanced civilization. Amazing. Everything from the beds that they made to the way that they stored grain, flushable toilets, the life of women, how they were treated. Totally different. Massive amounts of what they call laboratories. They would make textiles in, or dry herbs, prepare produce, maybe medicines, that sort of stuff. So they shared some things with the Minoans, but actually, in my mind, they actually seem to be more advanced. So when it was destroyed by a volcano, they decided that they would take apart the rest of the buildings, they would pile up stones, and they would then use the stones to rebuild it. But as they were rebuilding it, they saw smoke coming from the volcano and again decided not to bother, so they left the piles of stones. And as good archaeologists, they didn't put them back. They left them exactly where they were. It's part of the story.
The mill that we saw from this balcony and the gutter that there was there, the house of the ladies with the light well in the middle, the shortcut that we didn't take. You can see the house of the ladies with the toilet inside. The house of the admiral with the toilet inside, the main square, the big private building sector delta with the composition of the spring. This is one part of Cesti 2, another public building that has not been investigated yet. Sector B with the monkeys and the boxers, the laboratory right after this building. Cesti 3, this house ahead of us, the very important public house, and Cesti 4, the very first public house, the administration center over there. Information from Plato, from Plato's Dialogues Timaeus et Critias. According to Plato, Atlantis, it will be beyond the pillars of the Hercules. That means the nowadays Gibraltar. But some other people believe in Crete, some other in Asia. Thousands of studies, thousands of articles, a lot of Discovery Channel I saw. Actually, I'm a little bit confused. I don't know if this place is Atlantis or not, if it is a legend or a myth, but for one thing I'm sure. This is the prehistoric city of Akrotiri, and it will be the Greek Pompeii, but at least 1,600 years before the Italian Pompeii, and here we didn't find any human skeleton or any domestic skeleton in the city. They abandoned altogether the city and they never returned back.
So the question is, after all this, have we discovered Atlantis?
I'm not sure. They were certainly very civilised and they left after the volcanic eruption.
They did. And even speaking to the professional at Akrotiri, I'm still not sure. The timings just don't seem to match up anymore. So
there was definitely a civilization here.
and they were very well disciplined and led. They had a democracy and
They had toilets,
flushing toilets.
sewage systems, running water systems.
Don't even get that in.
Bathtubs.
You don't even get that in France.
And they were intelligent enough to leave when they needed to, and they took everything that they needed to take with them. And then the whole place got further destroyed with the earthquake.
So I don't think it's Atlantis. But what have we discovered? If we haven't discovered Atlantis, what have we discovered?
A very loud and angry bus driver on the way back from the last place we've just been.
He was, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That's true Greece, isn't it? A bus driver that is tooting everybody to get out of the way.
Just tooting, absolutely shouting.
And on our Odyssey, what have you learned about yourself?
Exercise doesn't hurt, and have a go.
Have a go. And it doesn't matter where you call home. Home is good. Home can be anywhere. There are places on this Odyssey where I felt properly at home. Not amidst this chaos of Santorini. That's fair. So we've discovered something. So, from us, next time.
The flight time to Athens airport will be approximately 25 minutes. We wish you a pleasant flight.
Irresponsible of us to come all this way to Greece and not go to Athens. We know we're not going to find Atlantis there. As a bonus, we give you 24 hours in Athens. It's a bit noisy because we're in Athens. So you've got a lot of street noise. But the thing is I booked us into a hostel because I'm cheap and I'm cheerful. And you know, after we've been living in luxury and whatnot, it actually makes a little bit of sense to do ourselves the disservice of being a bit scummy. Someone booked us into this place. Well, it's a bit rough. Some old building called the Acropolis. I've booked us into a dome with a view of the Acropolis. Apparently there's a party on the roof terrace as well, with free beer. Who'd have thought? So it's going to end soon, so we've got to go check that out. So it's morning in Athens. I have to say the room with the view was very much appreciated. It was a bit noisy. I think we were the oldest people in the hostel.
I didn't hear anything.
We were magic earplugs.
Fantastic earplugs.
Yeah. Oh, the brands are available. Yeah. So we come out and get some breakfast, and we're gonna wander around the Acropolis as much as we can. And then a little bit later on we are flying out. So it is a race against time as to how much we can get done. Can we do Hadrian's Library, the Museum of Mathematics and all that? And I've got my packing down to a T. I have to say that I don't think it's 8 kilos anymore. You win, you lose.
Once the separating bags out.
It's certainly hotter here than in the islands.
30 degrees here today.
Yeah. Don't have any fat to 30 left.
We've got squibbings and back to
It's going to be a matter of burn, baby, burn.
Alright, and I've got my silk scarf.
Yeah, I'm going to look great in a silk scarf.
Flowers on, yeah.
With flowers on, yes. It looks like a poo on my plate.
I got it. Really good. Talking of evolution, should we go back to normal?
No, it's got more yellow. It's gone from being this colour. It's sort of been that colour.
really do on pricey.
Yeah.
Oh, and you do.
Yeah, but it's like we like Luke saying. I'll say you were right. No singing or loud noises. Don't introduce any animals into the Acropolis. That's a fair request. Hello, mate. I wish we could hear that from here. Cool, isn't it? It's a big place. We haven't got to the biggest bit yet. Big things made out of stone. Oh, and scaffolding as it happens.
Pretty cool, huh?
It is. It looks a lot bigger than it did from our hostel roof.
Yeah.
Actually, it looked so small that you couldn't actually see the scaffolding on it. And the massive crane that they've got stuck in the middle.
Yeah.
Like a massive jigsaw puzzle, isn't it? I'll put it all back together again somehow. The only one thing I'm pleased with is that they haven't drawn all over it, like they have done with the rest of Athens, which unfortunately is just a scribbling book for retards. Thing is though, these temples, they're all just piled on top of each other. There's just one here, there's one there, there's one there, there's another one down there. There's just loads and loads of temples. It is almost as though they just couldn't decide which god to go for, one for each day of the week. It's a bit undermining, isn't it? How would you feel, right, if that was your temple? Somebody built that to you. And then this next to this, you'd feel somewhat belittled.
Did the Apostle Paul come?
No, you're thinking of the Areopagus.
Yeah.
It's in Rome.
But they had several temples to the same gods, didn't they?
Yeah. Yeah, they did. We see the Greeks had got their own mythology and they'd got their own gods. And then the Romans, in a big, nice move of cultural appropriation, sort of took their gods, renamed them, and nicked all the stories. Exactly like J.R.R. Tolkien and Lord of the Rings. And just like J.K. Rowling for that matter as well. Plagiarism. It's a form of flattery, but you'll get busted for it. This is the east entrance. What have you found else?
Amazing. See the ceiling tiles?
Yeah. That is cool. It's just one of those things. I mean, it was built at some point, wasn't it? I mean, it really was built. It's not like they're still doing it. It's not like Gaudi and building Sagrada Familia. Look, we're halfway there. Very well considering you're scared of heights. Don't look down, no. Your hat's so big, it's bigger than the Parthenon.
There we go.
No,
don't get sunburned.
I never thought I'd say this on holiday, but it's actually a joy when the sun goes in, isn't it? I am sick to death of the sun. I'm burnt to a crisp. And every part of me is sweating. My wheeze turned to Lucozade. It's just... I'm just glad the clouds come over. You know what this was? This was an ancient photocopy.
How was it? Not an ultra font.
No. That's where you put your bum.
I was just going to say.
That's where the staples. That's where the staples live. This is the century of Asclepius, where apparently all the priests were doctors. They did medicine and resurrection. So it's mostly crap. See that there?
Yeah.
That was the secret entrance into the Red Keep.
Okay.
That's the one that...
Are you mixing fantasy with fact again?
Well, no more than they are. Talking about Asclepius and Hippocrates resurrecting people. That's...
And the dog coming in your dreams to tell you the cure.
I missed that.
Yeah.
Oh, I switched off. You know, it seems to me that if you were going to start up a business in Greece, it wouldn't be in the restaurant business or something like that. You'd be hiring out acrojacks, because the whole place is just held up by scaffolding and acrojacks. Honestly, is it falling down?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I just saw them rope.
Every building is almost falling down. What you need is acrojacks. I know when you've had enough, dear. You are melting. It's time to get a slushy in you. Not a euphemism.